I have this image here, but I want to look like I'm having a relaxing day. But I think it would be great to have some company as well. Now I also want to flex on Instagram, kinda. So I want to be on a yacht this time. With friends, maybe we can add Sydney again, maybe Musk. Now let's take our monetizer's logo and let's start an energy drink company. That unlocks unlimited product photos. So that was just for fun. I will cover more use cases for fun, for business, faceless YouTube channels and everything in between. The best part is that you can do it all for free. So obviously in this video we'll be talking about nano-banana, which is a new model introduced by Google, and you can access it in two places. So one of course is just Gemini, where you can use nano-banana, as you can see, create images with nano-banana, and here is how we can use it. And also another option is to use Google AI Studio. So as you can see here, you also can try nano-banana for free. So you don't need any tokens right now. Of course, there are certain tokens that you can see here on the side. But what I found is like when you run out of these tokens, you just need to start a new chart and then you'll be able to generate all those images again. So this is great. And to be honest, I generated quite a few of them and I didn't see any limit yet. So maybe I was quite lucky. Maybe it's the same for all users. So you can let me know if you experience any limits, but in my opinion, this is great. So this is quite simple. Now, let's say you can just take an image, upload it here, and then say what this person or what the object should do. So for example, we have this image here where we have this guy and we can simply ask to remove this girl. So can you remove the girl? And this is all we have to do. And in a few seconds, we'll get the result. I would say the best or the fastest results you are getting with Google AI Studio, but Google Gemini is also doing a good job. In this scenario, I'll be using mostly Google AI Studio, but as you can see, the generation here is also quite good. So we don't see this girl anymore, we just see this guy here. So this is a nice generation. Now let me show you a few other examples and what I actually generated with this model. So first I was trying just with my photo and I wanted to be in a bar, in a beach bar, to be more precise. And as you can see, the generation is alright. I would say it's a nice image. I look fairly similar, maybe a little bit more fat, but this is alright. The only problem that I have is with your images. So when you upload your image, you need to make sure that the aspect ratio is correct, because it would most likely generate image in the aspect ratio that you upload. So for example, if you have an image and the image is 16 by 9, it will generate it in this ratio. However, the ratio is different, then you will get a square image. As you can see here, I wanted to add Sydney next to me and then immediately the whole image is square. So as you can see, again, nice image. She is in the background, but the image got square. So this is the problem. So you need to keep it in mind when you're generating your images. So let me show you more examples. So for example, here I did the same thing, but I added her next to me. So as you can see, again, it's a nice generation. I'm holding some kind of drink and she is holding my arm. So this is a nice generation. It is quite accurate, although the faces are not 100% correct, but still in my opinion it's close enough. So let's take for example this one. I believe this one is the best. So here we have again my photo. I extended it a little bit so it will be generating 16 by 9 aspect ratio, and here is the image. It looks alright. This is my face. I look fairly similar, I would say, and this is because I said close-up. So when you say close-up or something like that, the model can actually focus on your face, then you will get better results, as for example in this case. Then we did the same thing. So I wanted to add her and she's holding my arm, and here we go, she's holding my arm. It's a nice generation, nice image. So now we can even turn it into a video if you would like to, but now we are getting consistent characters quite easily. Or here I wanted to experiment with something different. So we have again the same photo that is extended, and I wanted to be on a yacht. And as you can see, I am on a yacht. I look fairly similar, nice clothes. I would say this is like a position of power, so I can flex actually on Instagram. Then we add her next to me. So here we have the generation. It looks quite interesting. She is actually quite behind me, but the generation is quite nice. Now we want to add Elon Musk next to me. So we have now Elon Musk on the left. So it's a nice photo. We can see some powerful people in this photo. It looks like a typical Monday to me. And then we also wanted to add Jeff Bezos, but for some reason Bezos didn't want to be in this photo. He doesn't look very realistic. He looks like we would actually just Photoshop him inside. It doesn't matter how many times I was trying to add him here, he always looks like he doesn't want to be in this photo. Apparently he doesn't look our company. Only Bezos looks weird in every photo. So this is alright. Sometimes it happens, and no matter how many times you try, it will always give you these weird results. So sometimes it's just better to move on. And here I tried one more time. So I opened a new chart, I uploaded the same image, and I wanted to correct the colors because he looked a little bit unnatural. So then what it did for me, it just removed him completely. So it's not necessarily what I asked for, but I guess it works. So we have again the same image, but without Bezos here. Now I want to try one more time if we can actually make it work. So again, we start with the same prompt and we want to be on a yacht. So we have me here. I look quite alright, but for some reason I have two pair of glasses. So let me fix that. I just said remove one pair of glasses from my head. Again, now it's alright, only one pair of glasses, this is alright. We add girl again, so we have Sydney on my side. She's holding my arm, this is alright. Now we want to add mask again, and unfortunately it doesn't look that real. It looks just like a copy and paste. And I would say it helps when you are actually telling what those people are doing, because if you just say add him on the left or right, AI tend to be quite lazy and just add them without adding any colors or without changing anything. So you can see again, Musk and Bezos look like they are not really part of this photo. It looks like someone just did it in Photoshop. You always want to make sure that you add a description of what this person is actually doing. And here, for example, it looks better. So I take again the same photo and I take photo of Musk. He is still a little bit too wide, I would say, for this image, but now he looks more natural with all the composition. So always make sure that you add, description of what these characters are doing. Now we can also create unlimited products and also images with influencers for your product. So as you can see here we have a logo and we can just call this drink Monetizer X. Here we just basically create this drink. It looks alright, maximum focus, unleash your potential. This is good. And now we can just create the same influencer that is basically advertising our product. So here we have the outcome. It's a nice image, I would say. We have this girl that is basically holding the product, but I don't like this part here. So what I basically did, I just said remove the text from the screen and correct the name on the product. So now again, we don't have this text here. There is still this part that looks a little bit blurry on the product. Nevertheless, it's better. Now, what we did next is that I uploaded this image again and I said, now create image with another influencer that holds this product. So again, we have this influencer here and she's holding the product. Again, this box doesn't look that great, so we can remove it. So I just said, can you remove this for me? And then we have no box, we have just image with this girl that is promoting my product basically. So content for social media is now easier than ever, I would say. Now we did the same thing. You have another influencer, he is at the gym. We don't see his face clearly, but we can see clearly the product. So it's a nice generation. Again, the same box. Sometimes when AI creates something, it tends to repeat the same thing over and over again. So fix for that could be to start another chat and start from scratch basically. And here, as you can see, I tried to remove it. So I said, can you remove the box and the text? It removed the text, but not the box. I just said remove the box. It didn't remove the box. So this is what I meant, that sometimes it doesn't really follow what you say. Now here we have the next example where I basically turned my photo into Renaissance painting, and here is the outcome. I would say it looks alright, it looks like a real painting. So it's a nice generation, nice outcome. And here is something that I found on X and I wanted to see if we can actually recreate it. So this is what I uploaded and I wanted it to prepare lunch with these ingredients. So it did what I wanted it to do, but now we would need to, just generate one more image and just remove all these images on the left, so we just have this table here. Again, it's a nice generation, it looks very, very good. Now the next thing what I did, I wanted to put me on a cover of Forbes, so it did a nice job. We can see that the first generation is alright. The only thing that we can see is that there is no my name but John Doe. So in this case, I tried to replace it and now things started to break. As you can see now text is off, so let's try it again. Fix the text is gibberish, but so again, we have the innovation imperative, machaton, and again, we have problem here. So as you can see, sometimes when you try to improve certain things, you will start breaking it more and more, but let's try to make it better again. So we did the same thing, and here we have another magazine. This one looks even better in my opinion. So we have Forbes, we have some text, we have building a future, one innovation at a time. Again, look, I would say it looks nice. It looks like a normal photo. It would actually edit it a little bit more, but this is not the bad generation. I would say this one is much better than the previous example. Still, you can generate something like that quite easily. Now let's have some more fun with this tool. So right now, let's just change the hair color. So we have black, then we have white. I look quite old, quite unusual, I would say, on Unreal even. Then the next one is even more funny because we have blonde hair. And then I also wanted to make me as a rock star. So this one is really hilarious. This one is probably the best. I look like a rock star. Maybe in the next life I could be a rock star or something. It looks nice, a funny generation. So you can do something like that. And it made a nice generation just with a simple prompt, right? There's nothing more to it. Just make me a rock star and that's it. We have a poster and everything looks alright. There are a lot of details. So I feel like we don't need that long prompts anymore. Sometimes we can even have like a few words and it will generate a very nice outcome for us. Now we can also generate cartoon characters. For example, here I just generated an image of characters at a vegetable market. So we have two cartoon characters at a vegetable market. This generation looks very nice. Here we have even more examples. So I generated the same characters, I mean the same style of image. And then we have the same thing. I wanted to change the perspective, but it didn't really change the perspective. I tried to improve it further. So we see that we changed the perspective of this carrot here, this carrot character. This one didn't change that much, but still it followed kinda what I wanted to follow. Here I wanted to focus on tomatoes at the market, not necessarily on characters. So it is alright, but I would say I would like to see more changes than just, showing me a box of potatoes in front of my eyes. But what also got better is how to generate consistent characters. As you can see, here we have this kitty. So, she's just happy. And then we also have the next image where this kitty is actually sad. It looks sad on the first photo, in the second as well. The third one is kind of weird. I would say this kitty is actually a little bit smiling and crying at the same time, which is weird. But nevertheless, we are getting consistent characters with just one photo. You have angry kitty. So again, it got it right. It changed it to angry character, so it's nice. Then we have this kitty but crying. So the first one is perfect. So as you can see right now, creating consistent characters is very easy and you can do everything in one place, which is very, very powerful. Now I also wanted to check if we can generate thumbnails. So here is again my image and here we have the prompt. Here we have I would say the thumbnail. The thumbnail is not bad, but I would say it needs a little bit more improvement to make it really work. It is like, I would say, Mr. Beast style, but this is not something that I would use. You know that my thumbnails are simple, but this is not what I would use. Still, you can check it. However, this is not a thumbnail I would use. So here we have the next example where I wanted to recreate one of my thumbnails. We have this girl from the thumbnail, and here I wrote what I wanted to see. So here we have the whole thumbnail, the whole description of this thumbnail, and here is the outcome. I would say it's a nice generation. We have this text, but because the image that I uploaded was square, our generation is also square. As you can see, this is square, and our generation is also square. So this is a problem. Always make sure that you upload image in the aspect ratio that you would like to get. Because if you write 16 by 9 or something like that, it will not work. And sometimes you will also do something that you don't want it to do. So for example, here I uploaded this girl again, but it's just square with a gray background, let's say. And this is the outcome. No, it's not really what I wanted, but okay. So we will go from here. We'll try to make it better. So here we try to improve it. So here is the prompt, make a whole background as smoke. And now it looks better. It looks, I would say, quite interesting. So we have the smoke, we have this girl. So this is a nice edit, I would say, where we actually can see her. And this is not like a straight cutout or something. So this is better, although the text is not perfect, but we'll try a few more examples later. Now to show you how easy it is to create characters and make them consistent, here we have again, we have generated a photo of a woman, and here we have this woman. She looks alright, she's smiling. So now we just want to make her sad, and as you can see, it's the same character. Now she's sad. So the facial expressions look alright. Now we make her angry, and as you can see, she is angry again, the same character, but really, really angry. And now we can even turn her into a Viking. So again, we have the same character, but now she's Viking. As you can see, it's very easy to change your characters, to keep consistent characters, and even put them in different styles and different thumbnails. As for example, here, I took my own photo, as you can see, and I turned myself into a fierce Viking. It looks very realistic. You can tell it's me, although I have a beard here, but still I look quite realistic. Now I also tried to create another thumbnail, so as you can see here we have the image, and here we have the final thumbnail. And I would say it's not good at all. I wouldn't use it. The quality is not there. But I would say it's the best when you try to edit details or create something from scratch, but not as a thumbnail. In my opinion, is like a very creative concept that you need to put together to make it really work. So here I just wrote make my eyes blue. So this is something that you can do very easily. Let's say change colors, add details, change details. So this one is alright, but sometimes when you try to make it too complicated, like creating those thumbnails, it will actually prepare something that is worth using. There is a fix for it. You can add a lot of details. So then you need very long prompt, many images combined together, and then you can create something quite good. Now, nano-banana can also replace Photoshop. So we took this photo here from Pexels and we just tried to remove this guy. And as you can see, here is removed perfectly. There are no problems here. There is no distortion, no morphing. Of course, you know, the whole background is blurry, but still it did the job correctly. Or for example, this one here. There are so many bikes and we want to remove all of them, right? And this is what we have after. So there are no bikes where you have clear space. So you have photo where you have a lot of people. You can remove them very easily and it will all look realistic, as you can see here. You'll have a few funny examples. So for example, I wanted to design myself as a Simpson character and here I am. I would say it's not perfect. My designers were doing a better job, but you can try one more time and probably you will get a better generation. I did the same with South Park style and South Park looks, in my opinion, much better. So this one is better if you would like to use it, for example, as your background image, or for example, as your avatar. It would be nice character, I would say. Now you can create a channel where you comment something on South Park and you are a South Park character as well. And this is your character that you are using on your channel and you animate him. So you have very strong branding here. I also tried one more thing. So I wanted to make me as a character in GTA 5 walking down the street. And here I am. As you can see, it looks very much like GTA 5. I look again like a character in GTA 5. So again, nice generation. I look alright, so this is a nice outcome. Here is something that you could use as background footage for your faceless videos. For example, instead of searching for background footage on Pexels or Pixabay, and sometimes you cannot find what you are looking for, you can just write your prompt and you will get your image in a matter of seconds. For example, here we have an image of ancient pyramids, and here is the image. It looks alright. Here we have ancient Rome. Again, I wrote 16:9, so it did it in this weird style with those white boxes. You can just take it and, for example, remove it in Canva. So this is quite simple. Or here we have, for example, an image of reality in 2200. So this is probably what our reality will look like. We'll see if this image was right or not. Because there is also another option that our reality will look like that humans are extinct. So we'll see which one is correct. What do you think? It would be this future or this future? I'm really curious to get to know your opinion. Now, as you remember, I created my energy drink. So let's use this energy drink and let's create some photos. So here is the base, here is the photo. We add our energy drink and we want them to hold it. So I'm holding it. Sydney is holding it, so it's a nice generation. Now I wanted to drink it, so now I hold two of them. So in my opinion, it's too much. I just need one of them. So I just said remove one drink, and then as you can see here, we have only one drink in my hand, which is good. Now I would say nano-banana at this point is the best when you find content that you would like to recreate, and then you will recreate it for you or replace something. So here, for example, we have this Red Bull advertisement, and then we have my drink again, and we just replace it. Again, it did a very nice job. It did it nearly automatically, so this is nice. Now we take the second one. So here we have this, can that is cut in half. So we did the same thing. It's not perfect because it's not really cut through, but it's just the mirrored version of this can, but still it's not bad, I would say. Here we have the next one where we have, again, my drink in another advertisement. So you can do literally anything you can imagine. For example, here we have this image and we want to remove a girl. We just want to have this guy here. So look, perfect. There is no problem whatsoever with this image. So now you have old footage and you would like to remove anyone from this footage, it will remove it for you without any problem. Or for example, you can add colors to old photos and just upscale them or recreate them. So I said colorize this image and here we have the colored version. Look, it looks natural. It looks like a real image in normal colors. So this is very, very nice in my opinion. Or for example, this one, again, black and white footage, and I wanted simply to colorize it. And again, we have the colorized version. It looks right. And I also wanted to make it more vibrant. So here we go with a more vibrant version. It looks very nice in my opinion. Here we have the next example. Of course, those images are not like images that someone is taking with a phone, but they are professional photos. Nevertheless, I wanted to add 2 police officers, and this is what we got. So this looks alright. Again, it looks like a stock photo because it was a stock photo, but still the generation looks alright in my opinion. Now, here is the next example. So here is one of my thumbnails, and this is how you can really use it to save a lot of time. You have one thumbnail that is working well, or you have, for example, photo of you, and you want to change your expressions across all of your thumbnails. So now you don't need to take photo every time you create a new thumbnail. You can just create expression on your face with nano-banana. So for example, we have this girl here and we say make her shocked. So you can see now she's shocked, right? So now we can take it even further and we can make her angry. So here we have the same girl that now is angry. Perfect. And now we have so many versions with just one photo. Or we can even make her promote our product again. So again, we have her promoting our product. She's holding this can. Look, even the text on the screen looks alright, so it's not blended or anything. It's text and she's behind this text, so this is alright. There is no problem whatsoever. It's a nice outcome. And here is the next thing. So for example, we have this car, I want to paint it yellow, and here is the outcome. It looks, in my opinion, real. It looks realistic. So we painted this car yellow, and this is how you can use nano-banana to do literally anything you can imagine. Now, there are also other examples what people use this tool for. So here is, for example, how you can upscale certain images. You have very blurry image here, and here is the outcome. As you can see, you have colors, you removed all the grain or the blurry stuff, so now the generation looks very nice. Or here is the image that I found and I told you before. So here is the outcome and here is the image that they created it based on. Or for example, image where you remove people. So here we have a lot of people, and a second one where we don't have people. So this is a very nice generation again. Or someone wanted to create a poster. So here is a perfect poster. It's a very nice example. I would say that this tool is really powerful, and the fact that you can use it for completely free is truly mind-blowing. Or look at this example. So someone wanted to recreate this map but in a 3D model. So here is the map and here is the 3D model. Can you see the same thing but in a 3D model here? This is really, really powerful, right? Or here is even a photo that someone created based on that. So look how many possibilities you have just from one map. You can create 3D model, you can create video based on that. You have so many options right now. Here we have, for example, old photo and someone just make it look like new, and then someone even turned it into a video. So now you really can bring anything to life. You have no excuses to create a very powerful YouTube with this tool, with consistent characters like comics books like this one, for example, here. So this is, in my opinion, very powerful tool. For example, here we have this shirt and here we have this guy, and now he is wearing this shirt. This is perfect. Here, for example, I have this guy, and here we have this jacket here, and here we have this guy that is wearing this jacket. Can you imagine how many things you can do? The reality is right now, only your creativity is your roadblock. So make sure to start using nano-banana as soon as possible. I'll add link in the description. And of course, let me know if you have any other ideas of how you could use nano-banana. And of course, if you would like to generate images, videos, discover the latest AI tools and monetize AI fast, make sure to watch the video you can see on the screen right now. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one.